In 2005, a well-known postmodern novelist wrote these words: "In the day-to-day trenches of adult life, there's actually no such thing as atheism. There's no such thing as not worshiping. Everybody worships. The only choice we get is what to worship." Now, David Foster Wallace was not a Christian, but here he arrives at a deeply Christian idea. We like to think that we are our own master, when in reality, the only choice we get is which master we choose to serve. The Apostle Paul says it this way in Romans 6 and verse 12. "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, to make you obey its passions. Do not present your members to sin as instruments for unrighteousness, but present yourselves to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and your members to God as instruments of righteousness." So here, Scripture presents two options. First, I can give myself over to sin. Now, usually we think of sin as like an external action, something that you do. But sin is more than just an external action, it's an internal power. It's a kind of force that controls you and that owns you like a master owns a slave. And maybe that sounds a little intense to call it slavery, but David Foster Wallace continues to say it this way in that same quotation. He says, "Everybody worships, and pretty much anything that you worship will eat you alive. Worship money and things, if they are where you tap real meaning in life, then you will never have enough, never feel you have enough. Worship power, and you will end up feeling weak and afraid, and you will need ever more power over others to numb you to your own fear. Worship your intellect, being seen as smart, and you will end up feeling stupid, a fraud, always on the verge of being found out. Worship your body and beauty and sexual allure, and you will always feel ugly. And when time and age start showing, you will die a million deaths before they finally grieve you." That is spiritual slavery. And we've all felt that. So I can give myself over to sin and obey its passions and lust to become a spiritual slave. Or the second option is I can give myself to God. Now, why should I choose that? Well, continuing to verse 14, Paul says this: "For sin will have no dominion over you, since you are not under law, but under grace." When I choose to make God my master, I'm not submitting to a set of rules, I'm submitting myself to a relationship. And in this relationship of mutual submission, here's the good news: God has already made the first move. He took on the form of a servant so you and I could be liberated. He was nailed to a cross so that you and I could be set free. So don't give your life over to sin. Don't obey its passions and become a spiritual slave. Instead, give your life to the only master who gave his life for you.